So, Lone Rider here, and I want to talk about customizing gearing. Now, this isn't as easy as it used to be in the old days, mostly because of index shifting, but you can still do it. And this bike is a lesson in that. This is a fairly older Raleigh Grand Sport road bike. I put many miles on this thing over the years, and it's still going. It's pretty awesome. Now, it's gone through some iterations over the years. Initially, it was a standard road double with 52, 42, 32 as the front gear set. And over the years, especially back in like 08, 09, when I was slimmer and younger, and some of the rides we were doing were really crazy hills, I began tweaking the gearing. So the first thing I did was I changed the granny gear on the inside of the triple. It's got like a 28 now. That's taken off a mountain bike. Second thing I did was I changed the inside gear from a 42 to a 39. So it had 52, 39, and then a really small bailout gear. A traditional modern road double is typically 53, 39. Traditional road doubles were 52, 42, which is where, when the triple came in, they kept 52, 42, and they just added a granny gear, usually 32. So like a 10-tooth difference. And then, of course, modern road doubles were 53, 39. So I kept, the outer gear was a 52, the inner gear was a 39, and then you had a 28. And that worked pretty good. I think at one point I changed the rear cassette. I don't really know if it's got a 28 on there or what, but I think it had a 26 originally. I didn't change the rear cassette necessarily because I wanted to change the gearing. It was basically because I wore out the gears. I was putting a lot of miles on this at the time. So I changed the gears, I changed the chain, and then when that came about, when I ended up wearing out the gears, I decided to change the big gear. So the big gear is now a 50, so the gearing is now 52, 39, 28. And there's a reason for that. The 50 is part of modern compact double gearing, where instead of a triple, you would have a 50, and then you would have typically a 34. Now, on some of my doubles, I have two doubles, one that are compact. One I left it standard, so it's 50, 34. One I changed it, so it's 50 and then 36. And the reason for that was I kept spinning out. I felt like I was in too easy a gear. I could have changed the rear cassette. It was easier to change the front gear. In this case, I wanted the slightly lower top gear of a double. I wanted the middle gear, where I'm in most of the time, to be standard road gear, standard modern road triple gear, so I mean modern road double gear, so 39, because that's what most everyone else I was riding with had. And then I had the bailout gear, and it works fine. And one of the things that's interesting to note is that not only does it work fine in terms of, giving me the gear that's more geared towards, no pun intended, what I was doing at the time with the bike, and what I, even now, I find it a good gearing. I also didn't have a problem with shifting, despite the fact that these parts are from a variety of ages. See, the chain on this is a 9-speed chain, but the only gear on here that's a modern 9-speed is the outside, the 50-tooth. The inner gear is a standard 8-speed 39, and the little bitty gear came off a mountain bike from way back in the early 90s or late 80s or something. That gear is designed for like a 6 or 7-speed chain. And they all work, even though this has a narrower chain for here. So changing your own gearing in terms of the spacing is going to be more difficult with index shifting, but at least up to 9-speed, you can certainly mix and match front gears and not have a problem in terms of width of the chain rings with the chain. Maybe not for all of them, but for these it works fine. And in particular in terms of selecting gears that are more suited to your riding style. So don't think that just because modern drivetrains are a lot more specialized and a lot more narrowly focused and designed to work as a unit, that you still can't modify your gearing and you still can't customize your ride. After all, it's your ride, not anyone else's. Shouldn't you be able to set it up just the way you want it? And the truth is, you still usually can find a way to do that, even with modern gearing. Modern gearing makes it a lot more difficult to do this, but you can still do it. So, Lone Rider out, rock on, stay safe.